What is success? This question has lived in the hearts of many people, sometimes whispered in quiet moments, sometimes shouted in frustration when life feels unfair. There was once a young man named Daniel. From his earliest years, he felt as though life had turned its back on him. Every effort seemed to slip away like sand through open fingers. Whenever he tried, failure came more often than victory. And in his loneliness, he often thought to himself, perhaps the heavens were not fair. One night, as he lay awake, his heart heavy with disappointment, Daniel made a decision. He would set out on a journey, not just across mountains and rivers, but a journey to find the answer to his greatest question. What is success? He believed only the divine could give him this truth. With nothing but a small pack and determination in his steps, Daniel began his long walk. Days turned into weeks as he crossed hills and valleys. At last, one morning, he came to a wide river. The air was fresh with mist, and the gentle sound of water carried peace into his weary heart. There, sitting on a rock near the riverbank, was an old fisherman. His hands were weathered, his clothes simple, but his eyes glowed with calm wisdom. Daniel approached respectfully. "Sir," he asked softly, "please tell me, what is success?" The old fisherman smiled, his voice steady like the flowing river. "Success," he said, "is when each day I am able to cast my net and bring home fish to feed my family. It is not wealth or power, but the quiet assurance that tomorrow we will eat again. That, my child, is success." "Melly, very fond of me, very fond of listening." Daniel listened carefully, but though he nodded, his heart still longed for something more. So he thanked the fisherman, and with renewed courage, he crossed the river. Beyond the waters lay a dense forest. The trees stood tall, their branches weaving together to form a roof of shadows. The air was thick with the call of birds and the distant rustle of animals. As Daniel moved deeper, he came across a hunter. The man's bow was drawn, his eyes fixed on a deer that had already been struck by an arrow and now stumbled through the brush. Curious, Daniel called out, "Hunter, what is success to you?" Without lowering his bow, the man answered, "Success is when I can hunt enough to survive each day. If I return home with meat, if my family does not go hungry, then I have achieved success." Again, Daniel listened with respect. He could see the truth in the hunter's words, but still, in the quiet of his heart, he felt incomplete. There must be more to the meaning of success than daily survival. So he pressed on. Through the forest, across barren deserts where the sun burned his skin, and over mountains where the air grew thin. Finally, after a journey long and weary, Daniel stood before the presence he had been seeking before the divine, the great mystery he called God. Falling to his knees, he asked with trembling voice, "Lord, please tell me, what is success?" The answer came, not with thunder, but with a gentle kindness. "My child," said the voice, "success is not a single destination. It is not only the fish caught or the animal hunted. Success is life itself. It is the sweat upon your brow, the lessons learned from each failure, the strength born from persistence. Success is not something you grasp only at the end. It is the journey itself. Walk your path with an open heart, and you will find success along the way." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. The truth had always been there, waiting for him to understand. It was not about chasing a final prize, but about living fully in each step, cherishing the lessons, and honoring the struggles that shaped him. With gratitude, he bowed low and said farewell. Then he returned to his home, his heart lighter, his spirit alive with clarity. Once back, Daniel began to write. Page after page, he poured out the stories of his journey: the fisherman by the river, the hunter in the woods, the divine voice that spoke of life's meaning. His words were simple, yet full of warmth and truth. In time, these pages became a book, and when that book reached the hands of others, it touched countless hearts. Through his writing, Daniel found something he had never expected: success, not the kind he had once chased blindly, but the deeper kind, born of sharing, inspiring, and helping others see that they, too, could find meaning in their journey. This story carries a gentle reminder. Many people wish to succeed, but stumble when they cannot see results quickly. They become discouraged, believing that they have failed. Yet, true success asks for patience. It asks for effort. It asks for courage to act. Even when the path is long, we often think success is far away, a treasure at the end of the road, but perhaps it is right here, in the steps we take today, in the persistence we show despite fear, in the love we give, and the wisdom we gather. So if you too are walking a difficult road, remember this: success is not waiting for you at the finish line. It is already with you, in the very act of walking forward. Every small step matters. Every lesson has value. And one day, when you look back, you may discover that the journey itself has been the greatest success of all.